Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Disco Elysium, where we have a whole new world of terrifying disappointments to explore. I'm excited to see what is on the rest of the map. I don't actually even know if it's the rest of the map. This might not be everything yet. But we certainly have a lot of new stuff to look at. We'll get back to the, the old things in our journal, talking to Joyce now that we have the, now that we have our badge and everything. We'll head back over there eventually. For right now, I just want to look around. So what have we here? There's a boat tucked away underneath the tarpaulin cover. Oh yeah, that is in fact what that is. Over here we have a nice little shack with a broken window, it looks like. Through the broken glass, dusty shelves and a forgotten chair. Well, let's go in there and steal that chair then. I'm sure these people don't need it anymore. I mean, probably nobody lives here, right? Given the fact that the door is, like, partially off the hinges and everything. It is, in fact, just this chair. You see a dark red chair in the dim light of the room, and also, I had a thought there for a second. Apparently it's gone now. Cold breeze is enough to make the wall planks creak. We've discovered a postcard. And a bow knot, plus drama. Really? I mean, it's a new thing for our neck, which is cool. Why is this +2 drama? Theater kid. Okay. You're sure that wearing this tie is a statement. You're not sure what kind of statement, though. Alright, well, we'll worry about that later when we need to augment our stats. For right now, we're just walking around and collecting bubbles, because XP. Hey, look at all this free XP. So that was not super useful. What a weird little room. Why would there be a little shack that just has a red chair in it? It's certainly not the case that anybody's living there, and it's not like it couldn't be ice fishing or anything, because it's not over the ice. Yeah, I don't know, that's just really weird. Something tells me that we will find out more about that shack eventually. Underside of this boat has been recently tarred. Well, that seems like a good idea. Let's go inspect the garbage over here. Kim and I came to clean up this town, and we're going to do it one bottle at a time. Oh, never mind. These are pants. +1 to Kingdom of Conscience. Sorry, what does that mean? Tailored trousers in light brown, moderate in every aspect. They're absolutely unremarkable. In other words, perfect. Ah, these are moralist pants. Okay, I can see it. This postcard depicts a forest of smokestacks releasing fat plumes of smoke into blue, cloudless sky. The tinge of age, the color of old teeth, gives it a sickly look. Written on the back is a single sentence repeated twice. I got out. I got out. No addressee. Huh. Well, it's worth $1. We are actually getting really close to being able to buy that role-playing game. You see dust-covered linens, dried tulips on a bed. Allez-vous-en. So this is like... White curtains have been drawn shut, no looking in, and it looks like no door? Allez is go, right? So, this is you go? Vous is the formal you, I think? Listen, high school was a long time ago. A wedding stone, well worn and covered in rust. And over here, some barrels with magnesium stored in them. We've just stolen some kid's drug stash. He should have hidden it better. Didn't he know I was here to clean up this town? The worn and beaten wooden planks of the bench do not look overly comforting. Yeah, I didn't want to sit on it. The lieutenant looks down the street. We can sit on benches after we've solved the murder. Let's go. You can revisit the bench if you ever need to pass time when Lieutenant Kitsuragi is gone. Oh yeah, that's right. You can sometimes just sit and pass time. Cinder blocks, charred. A makeshift fire pit with magazines for lighting. The bushes are too thick and thorny to pass through, but I'm sure we could just, like, walk around, right? So we have some dudes just hanging out, sitting around a bunch of garbage in the rain, as you do. Pretty standard guy stuff. What is this? This is money. It's like a coffee can or something. I don't know what that is. But it had money in it. Construction material. Whoever planned to build this house left in a hurry. Yeah, this whole place kind of has the feeling of having been left in a hurry, huh? That lady's speaking some language, I don't know. Hold on. Before we engage with any of these people, let's continue to look at the inanimate stuff. The stuff I'm more comfortable with. What are these doing in the fish? Wait, what? What is happening here? I wish she hadn't spoken. What are these doing in the fish? Oh, boots. I found some Franco-Nigerian cavalry boots. Okay, perception boots seem like a useful thing. Not that we desperately need perception, obviously. Good old calf-length cavalry boots. Mount that horse and ride into the night. The heel comes in handy too. It definitely makes you some good 5 centimeters taller. But could it be that it's also making you sharper? More perceptive to your surroundings now that you've gained a new perspective? I guess for just running around, maybe those are worth equipping. I think these black mug straps might be making us extra money on each thing that gives us money. I don't know, I'll leave these equipped. This boat is floating freely in the water, unmoored. I mean, who hasn't been there, right? Wait, I'm having a thought. Planks creak beneath my weight. That was what I got out of my perception there. The ladder leads to a school of fish swimming in the kelp. I mean, we're, like, racking up XP very quickly here, right? I don't remember what our XP was at, so I guess I don't actually know that. Oh, we do have a skill point. That's right, we totally do. Did I want to take any of this stuff? I kind of want to grab this. Because, like, what if we did run into somebody wearing the armor, right? We should investigate this armor. We should be ready to deal with this armor. That said, we might run into a skill check in the near future that we fail and then really want to immediately unlock and retry. I'm going to try this. Alright, -1 savoir-faire for the next 3.5 hours. Can get a Detective Cousteau thought. I feel like I've been pretty committed to the idea of being Raphael Ambrosius Cousteau. Hopefully that'll come around for us soon. Harry Dubois is dead, and that's maybe the best thing for everybody. Alright, I suppose it's time to start talking to people. Time to start doing some police work. A woman in a raincoat stands on the quay, considering an overturned boat. A sword and a scabbard hangs from her hip. Oh, that's weird. Also, she has fishing lures for earrings, maybe?
Anything I can help you with?
That depends. Where are we exactly?
A fishing village on the seashore. This place doesn't really have a name. It's sometimes called Elysium.
Why?
The sign on the street leading here is illegible. Has been since they built this place.
That doesn't really feel like an answer to my question. Okay, I have questions. First is, what's your name?
The name is Lillian. People call me Netpicker. I think I have time for questions, and that was actually the second one.
Oh, man, indeed. You're always confused as to your whereabouts. Doesn't seem directly relevant. I was asked to get her signature. I'm obviously not going to do it. What do you do around here? Like I said, fish, mostly. Sail the waves, take care of the kids, pick nets. Right now, I'm tarring a little skiff. And is that enough to make a living? Sometimes I also walk the beach to see what the sea has given up. The sea is full of surprises. Keep it professional, man. Don't make it sound like you're hitting on her. Okay, I'm not. I'm just trying to do my thing here. Nope, this is hitting on her. Well, it's going to come across that way anyway. Interesting. What have you found? Wood, pieces of glass. Every once in a while we see dead bodies. Human, animal, fish, other odd sea creatures. A mine washed ashore once. She looks at the beach and continues. Bottles, drugs also, lost cargo in general, but most of the time it's just wood and glass. Alright, major choice moment. You only get to ask one thing. It would be weird to say them all. Choose wisely. Yeah, I mean, I know it would be weird to say them all, but also this is a video game. This is kind of how video game conversations go. Drugs, I need info on this. I'm such a narc. I should probably know about those human bodies. Well, you're barking under the wrong tree then, officer. She shakes her head. I have no interest in floaters. Seen enough of them in my life already. A very unattractive bunch. That's a nice sword. Does it come with a story? Unfortunately, the factory sold this one with a 3-year warranty instead of a story. She smiles at her own joke. It's to intimidate folks, mostly. Oh, it is imposing. It's a regular mass-produced sword, like a shovel or an axe. Nothing fancy, just for intimidation. She's really leaning into that. Why do you need intimidation tactics? From time to time, people need a lesson in respect. That's just the way it is. Back in the day, I caught the eyes of many men, and believe me, she adds, tittering, men need a lesson in manners from time to time. I do not think she's going to let me borrow her sword. I'm not even going to ask. Well, why don't more women arm themselves if it's so effective? Now, what makes you think we haven't? She smiles. The truth is that almost everyone in this life is scared and tired and stupid and too dull for that. That goes for men too, but they put on an act for us. Pretend like everything's good and living in shit doesn't bother them. Like anyone falls for that. Yeah, behold! Points to the expression. Her eyes meet yours and suddenly she starts laughing. It's hoarse, as if she hasn't laughed in a while. Do you like it? Nobody likes it. Sure. Her face straightens. It looks as if you could face down any horror in the world with that same unchanging grin. It's like a shield. The traces of her laughter are still there, in her eyes, fading fast. So, where are all the men now? Some went to patch their wounds, their lessons learned. Others were more thick-headed, she looks down. And one of them I ended up marrying. And where is your husband now? Gone. Gone? Coward! I would never leave anyone. No, that's definitely not right. Gone where? It does sort of sound like I gotta be careful here. I'm getting into maybe I'm hitting on her territory again. To the waves. Her eyes stop in yours. The sea took him. It was a long time ago. Oh, I should probably not probe? We're total strangers. It's not appropriate for me to probe, I think. What was he murdered? This is a line for if you're not really reading the text. I'm gonna say no more, and I'm gonna let her talk about this as much as she wants to talk about it. He didn't respect the sea. Went out there drunk like a skunk, and sure enough, one day the boat was found floating empty. Loaded corpse turned up 2 weeks later. Now, before you tell me how sorry you are for my loss, know that it was 4 years ago and I've moved on. There's only so much mourning you can do for a drunk with sinewy muscles. She really liked those muscles, though. It's in the way she pronounces sinewy. Yeah, death is nothing. I shit on death. Jeez. Wait, what do I say here? What is the thing that a person ought to say in this situation? Time really is the best cure for sorrow. I mean, this is sort of true. It's the best cure for some sorrow. I'm gonna say this. Us working folk don't have the luxury to be bedsick with melancholy. She crosses her arms. I buried him, mourned for an appropriate amount of time, and went on. She glances at the village where 2 little kids are playing with what look like rocks. Life didn't really change that much for me and the kids. This is neither a touchy nor very interesting topic for her. She looks like she's ready to go on a date with another, better drunk. Ask her. Both of you could need some action. I don't think that's a good idea for her or for me. Kim's presence makes it awkward, and I also don't know a good spot for a date yet. And even if I did, I don't think this is a good idea. So I take it that is your skiff? Sure is. The Sun, I call her. Coated with a fresh layer of tar just yesterday. It'll take some time for it to dry, assuming the sunny days continue. You know, probably beyond this one. Sunny days. I'll just stick my hand out in the rain. Aye, she looks at the rain circles on the water. Sunny days. You got a problem with that? No, ma'am. We have no quarrel with sunny days. Good. Would have been bad news if it had turned out it wasn't a sunny day. Bad news for the skiff, bad news for the nets, bad news for the kids. There's a moment's silence. She looks at the rain streaming down the yellow belly of the boat. So when do you think the boat will be ready? In time, she replies with a nod and adds, when the sea turns and the wind settles, she'll be ready. Okay. I'm looking for someone. Maybe you could help. Let's see. She tilts her head ever so slightly. Who are you looking for? Oh, just a whole bunch of people. How about a missing cryptozoologist? She frowns, thinking, I don't think I know what those are. Care to elaborate? Yeah, people who look for... Let's say people who look for animals who are hard to find. We don't know what she thinks of cryptids yet. Aha! She exclaims, like snowmen. Snowmen? I haven't heard about those. The two odd guys have been wandering around here, nose in sand, talking nonsense about snowmen and the like. Hey, that does sound like our dudes. Wait, when you say the like... Right, she nods. Not only snowmen, also green men, monkey men, burning rhinos. You get the picture. Oh, you're getting it, and it is gorgeous. Well, where did they go? I don't really know. Further down the peninsula, I guess. I mean, that's where they were heading, she points north. Who else are you looking for, besides snowmen? Also a working-class husband? I really wish that, that he was going to give her more detail than that. Yeah, I'm not really looking for that anymore. Not much into the middle-class ones either, she sighs. I could use some landed gentry, but apparently they don't make those anymore. Well, the husband isn't for me. I'm looking for him for his wife. I wish I could help you with that, but I haven't seen your working-class husband. Maybe I can help you find someone else. She seems genuinely sorry for not being able to help you. She seems like a nice lady. You know what? That's it. I think we're good here. Be seeing you. It really feels like it would be shitty to make a move on her. Even if you could pass that check. Door's locked tight. Well, let's just peek in the window. You can't see into the house from this angle. But inside, you hear the cozy sound of some kind of heater sputtering. I am going to steal their trash, though. Who just throws out 50 real? Sorry, 0.5 real. Am I allowed to knock? Apparently not. Doesn't feel it would be prudent to knock. Okay, we totally are accumulating XP. I just wanted to double check. I was realizing that I wasn't 100% sure that was a real thing and not something I was imagining. The woman next to a bucket of clothes hums an odd melody. Her eyes are closed.
Welcome to the fishing village. Please lean in closer. I have cataracts.
Okay.
Oh, welcome, police officer. We don't cause any trouble around here, and we don't want any trouble either.
I wonder if she's familiar with me. I'm assuming I leaned forward in such a way that my face is really what she saw, and she immediately knew I was a police officer from that, so...
We are not here to cause any trouble, madame.
We're cops, we're hellraisers. No. We don't cause trouble, we take care of trouble.
Oh, of course. Last time we saw you around here was 12 years ago. You also came to take care of trouble then, which you did. But still, in Martinez, you're considered an ill omen.
Wait, I've been here before? I think she might be talking about police in general, but maybe she doesn't know me personally.
No, not you personally.
Well, okay then.
I meant the RCM. Some of the men got into a fight. One of them killed another. Locked himself in that woodshed over there. He was brooding, needed some help opening the door. You got it open for him and took him to think about what he'd done in a more secluded place. Somewhere more quiet.
You know, they did patch the game. Hold on, can I... They patched the game and they said that they made the voices a little bit more consistent in volume, so I think we can probably turn these up now without making any of them weirdly loud. Let's hope, anyway. She says it as if he was on some kind of spiritual retreat. I mean, I am definitely an ill omen. What kind of ill omen are we talking about here?
Oh, the usual. Dark tidings. Black hound.
That's you, alright. A black hound, licking your own heels. You should probably not do that. That doesn't seem like a useful thing to do. Well, if I'm considered an ill omen, why hasn't anyone told me that? That's not... I believe I've been told that a number of times. Yeah, I am totally an ill omen. It's exactly what I've been telling everyone. The end is here.
You're not. No one around here considers us an ill omen. People would have told us.
I'm pretty sure people have told us. Gart definitely thinks I'm an ill omen.
Maybe we are afraid.
Why? What reason would anybody have to be afraid of the police?
Because you're an ill omen, but you're still welcome here, as long as men with guns aren't chasing you. And maybe even then, because that's the kind of fishing village we've built. I'm sorry there's not a lot of room to park your motor carriage, and not a lot of houses, or a lot of people. My kids are long gone, searching for treasure. So are others.
Well, she doesn't have to be sorry about that first thing. I found a place to park my motor carriage.
Ah, look at me ramble on. What brings you to us?
Where could someone stay around here? Stay? Most people here are trying to leave. That said, if lodgings is what you're looking for, I've got a free room in the shack. Her soapy thumb points to the building behind her. How much? I won't charge you for it. Take it as a gesture of goodwill from the village to the RCM. That would actually be super cool. Oh, yeah, it's maybe not appropriate for us to accept free accommodations, but also, I really do want free accommodations because I don't want to pay Gart anymore. Wait, hold on. You're just giving it to me. No one is using it, and God knows it's not much anyway. She tilts her head to the side, pondering over something. You can stay there. So, if we don't pay Gart, we're not going to have access to our room at the Whirling anymore. Which means that we're going to need... If there's anything in there that I still want to do, we should probably do it quickly. The only thing that there really is to do there is to try to get the expression off my face. And that's a pretty difficult check that I'm not really ready to worry about yet. We could just pay Gart, 20 real whenever we decide that we want to try to fix it. So, yeah, I'm into it. There's this guy, Gart, who makes me give him money every night just so I don't die out in the cold? That's exactly how they get you. That's why we built our own cinder block houses on the seaside, so we don't have to give money to those crooks. She looks around. They might not look like much, but they're ours. Well, you got yourself a tenant. Don't make an old woman regret opening her house to the police. A key appears from under her apron. She hands it to you. Well, if you're not in the hostel in the morning, know where to find you. He looks around and adds, here, in a shack. Kim's gonna continue staying in the hostel. He's a little relieved you're no longer in that room. Yeah, I think it's probably the best for everybody. So, what is in this fishing village? Just us. She sounds tired. It's barely a village anymore. We almost don't exist. What do you mean? This is pretty much a non-place, she grins. A gap. A blank spot on the map. Just a cluster of nameless shacks on a nameless street. The place is so pornographically poor, it's not even funny. Porn is often not funny. I think that's kind of not what it's for. I'm not going to tell her that the place is pornographically poor. She might appreciate that wordplay, but honestly, it's not all that good, so... Well, who else lives in this village? Well, there's Lillian and her kids. A few new folks live in the house to the east. She nods her head across the courtyard. But they're away right now. And then there's the drunks, she sighs. Not a pretty sight, but there's little we can do about it. Home is home, even for them. Oh yeah, I met Lillian already. Lillian is tough, she nods. Tougher than the men here, at least. If it wasn't for her and the kids, this place wouldn't have a spark of life left. I haven't seen any drunks yet, though. I mean, I have. I was like 3 feet from them. Sooner or later, you'll see for yourself. She slowly shakes her head. Don't have to look long to find these guys. Alright, there's another topic I'd like to address. We got lots of things to do today. What is further down the coast? Not much, she replies and wipes her forehead. There's the abandoned church, the DeLorean Church of Humanity. It's been there since before my time, even. But why is it abandoned? Some things just don't fly, officer. She smiles a gap-toothed smile and smells the air. Look around. Who'd go to church here? They built it 300 years ago. Must have been nicer then. So they don't hold services there anymore. The Ecclesiastes. No, they've tried, but things just keep happening. Crime, accidents, other things. The place never stays open. She frowns. It's a pity. It used to be such a nice church. She is not telling you all she knows. Keep her talking. Going directly at it, if it's something she's trying to hide from me, going directly at it is probably not the right way here. What else is on down the coast? Or do we... Was keep her talking my empathy trying to tell me that we need to stay on the topic? I'm going to keep her talking in general. What else is down the coast? Before you get to the church, there's some ruins, an apartment complex or some kind of electrical plant, run-down bunch of houses, empty. Which is it then? Apartments or electrical plant? That's a weird thing to not be able to tell the difference between. A weird pair of things, I guess. I don't know exactly. A pre-war place. It used to be something. She shrugs. Before the war. I wasn't here then, you know. Was born in Samara. Alright, anything else of note? Of note? Well, the old fish market up on the boardwalk, but it's closed. That's it? I mean, there's got to be more. What, you're one of those real estate people with big plans? If you want a development opportunity, you can check out the abandoned building over at Land's End. Used to be a supply depot, we think, sending goods and ammo across the bay. It's jammed shut, though. We tried to get in, see if there was anything to sell or scavenge, but it's impossible. She drops a bar of soap into the bucket with a splash. And now you know everything there is to know about this coast. I guess I should have pressed her about that specific topic. I wonder if I have the option of doing it again. I get the feeling you're leaving stuff out. What else is going on? Well, there's that music. Music from across the sea, she scoffs. It started a few days ago, and now it's blasting, even through the nights. And now suspicious-looking people are sneaking around the church. I don't like that. Interesting. You could look into this ruckus if you have the time. That does sound like a thing that we ought to do. Alright, tell me about yourself. Who exactly are you here? Me? No one. Just an old washerwoman. Mother called me... Isabel, maybe? That's definitely a thing that people are actually named, but I've never heard anybody say that name out loud. If that's what you're asking. And my married name is Sadie. Now it's your turn, mister. My name is... Raphael Ambrosius Cousteau. Why would I sigh? I'm proud of my extremely good name. Well, your parents must have had big plans for you. She pauses, measuring you up and down. Wonder if you measured up. The question must be prompted by your sloppy posture. Straighten your back, man. Yeah, that's embarrassing. Alright, I'm off. I am definitely not going to help Everett bust up this little community. These people do not need another boot on their neck. Street sign is illegible below the graffito, which I assume is a singular graffiti. Hard to see the details. The colors, all warm and welcoming, are cozy, though. And a flower trough where nothing really grows. And maybe in the spring. Alright, let's check this place out. It's so warm and welcoming. Is this maybe Lillian's home? Feels safe and warm in here. Not like outside. Well, yeah, that's how buildings work. Industrial coal pellets burn with an orange glow. And also, there's a bird. I don't think I should take this bird. This is not mine. And the kid's right there. He's looking at me. She's looking at me. Hello, mister. A young girl, barely 4 to 5 years old, sits on the sofa. She's looking at you with frank curiosity. She clutches a small stuffed animal. Occasionally, she twirls it around. Hey, what's that? It's a grouse, she yelps, smiling broadly. You might be able to get on Gart's good side if you replace the broken skua you almost certainly broke. Okay, yeah, but what's it for? I don't know. Can I have it? I know someone who really likes stuffed birds. See, if she gave it to me, that would be fine. Okay, sure, just go and get it. I don't like it anyway. It looks angry. See, I'm helping people. Helping people through theft. And what's that thing you're holding there? It's Lammy. He's my friend. Sort of like... She holds the fuzzy beast up to demonstrate. Lammy is a stuffed lamb that admittedly has seen better days. One of the eye buttons is missing, and the fur is tattered in several parts. Oh, okay, well, pleased to meet you, Lammy. Lammy usually doesn't like strangers, but you're also fuzzy like Lammy. Hey, look at that. She's very observant. Are you Lillian's daughter? Yes, I am. Little Lily. She gazes at you with her big eyes. You know my mom? Okay, don't get creepy with the child. Yeah, we met earlier. That's nice. My mom is great, she nods. She's never angry or anything. Okay. Well, now I feel comfortable taking this thing. I don't know if I need to get on Garth's good side, but at least now we have some kind of plan for how we might do that if I decided I needed to. If I thought he had any idea what was going on with the doors inside the whirling, then maybe this might be a good way to start solving that weird thing, but he told us he doesn't know what's in them, and I do believe him. The dead body of a grouse stuffed with some unknown material. From a distance, it might just pass off as the real thing. The bird itself looks extremely ruffled and slightly grumpy. Well, I mean, I think that's just birds in general. And these are her other kids. The scruffy-haired little boy kicks a stone. He can't be more than 5 years old. The other one looks indistinguishable from him. He watches his brother kick the stone with his tongue lolling out of his mouth. Hey, you guys are identical! The stone-kicking one becomes frantic all of a sudden, as if that's something to be scared of. The obvious fact that you just stated. He looks just like me, the other one says. Yeah, that's what I just said. The boy doesn't answer. His brother throws another rock. Both of their hair is covered in some kind of dirt. How could I even tell? They have those hats on. The rock kicker was just being shy, but now he's enthusiastic again. You're bad with kids, the lieutenant remarks with evident glee. Okay, and what are you, the Kid Master General? Maybe I am, he grins. Now, how about some actual police work? We're not getting anything out of here. Yeah, Kim, I'm talking to these witnesses. You must be Lillian's twins. This one doesn't say anything, kicking the concrete with his worn-out sneaker. Lily's our mom, explains the other one, tongue still lolling out of his mouth. Yes, that's what I already said that. Thank you. The stone kicker laughs suddenly. His head is too large for his shoulders. The other one laughs as well. Wow, so intellectually stimulating. These kids are creeping me out. I'm not going to just say children are stupid. You know what? You kids, you have fun. I don't need to harass these kids anymore, and I'm certainly not getting anything out of it. Alright, I guess let's go talk to the drunks. Ooh, wait, first let's see what this is. It's 10 cents. Awesome. We did it. We did it, Kim. We're rich.
Hey, tequila!
A 30-something man clad in a two-piece lycra tracksuit puts down his Pilsner and extends his hand in greeting. Sorry, is he calling me tequila? Oh god, he is calling me tequila, isn't he?
Good to see ya. How's business? How's the old reality situation treating ya?
Let's shake his hand. It seems like he thinks we're friends.
So what's happening?
He picks up his beer. Sorry, tequila?
Yeah, Tequila Sunset. How are the, high-concept, reality-based adventures proceeding?
Yeah, we had a long conversation with this dude, huh? He says it like it's obviously your name. Like you call someone Billy Brunuel, or leader of the 4th Street Gang. Reality, it makes me aggressively sad. That's a little too real. I am not... I technically am the law, I guess. Not too hot. Seems I'm on a 50-year losing streak. You know what? That's not actually true. I was a good cop, at least. I don't know. People tell me I'm a cop. I'm getting used to that.
It's good to hear you're on top of things. Talking about the youth, did you know that I used to be a real mover and shaker?
He thoughtfully picks at his shit-stained lycra jacket.
Sadly, things ain't going that well in Idiot Doomspiral land. Haven't found those keys yet, haven't won that great piece of arse back. No word from my business buddies.
So he calls himself Idiot Doom Spiral. I thought that was maybe a little, like, internal nickname that we had developed for him, over those 3 missing days. I don't know, maybe he's not... It sure seems like he thinks he knows us. I'm assuming that I drank with these guys, right? Idiot Doom Spiral, huh? This is bound to be a good high-concept conversation. At last! So what is a Tequila Sunset? You keep saying it. What's you? You're Tequila Sunset. How do you know this? We've met before, don't you remember? Maybe? No, you know what? I'm just going to say no. I'm just going to let him... We may as well let him know now. I can only lie to him for so long before he realizes I don't know anything about what's going on. Aha! He takes a sip from his beer. Do you want to know how Tequila Sunset came to be? Yeah, go ahead. Let me take a sip to moisten up my cords. He takes a big sip, then begins. Tequila Sunset rolled into Martinez last Friday. And by Tequila Sunset, I mean you. The man. The myth. Wait, did we meet on Friday? Hey, let's not jump ahead of ourselves. This is your story. Stop interrupting. He takes another sip, then continues. Actually, this is going to be really useful to us, right? You got here on Friday to solve a case, hoping to be the early bird who gets the worm. And by the worm, I mean the buzz, because as far as I know, all you did was get pissed drunk. Word on the street is you went around the local hostel telling people that you're a police officer and that it would be really fucked up if you shot yourself in the head right in front of them. That's pretty high concept, if you ask me. Yeah, it is. And does that sound like something you'd do? Yeah, probably. The lieutenant's brow is furrowed. He's listening as casually as he can. Yeah, what happened then? Oh, it was a late Saturday night when we, the Union of Moribund Alcoholics, were getting our drink on. Nothing remarkable about this. We get our drink on 24/7. Makes everything warm and glowy. I trust you know the feeling. One moment we hear the sound of a motor carriage revving up somewhere on the plaza, followed by a series of dings and bangs. You remember the sound of wood cracking? The billboard. Naturally, loud noises pique the interest of anybody owning a pair of ears. That's just the reality we're in. Yeah, naturally. Anyway, there was a brief silence, a gasp of silence, if you will, followed by a real commotion. We heard the carriage careening toward the coast at top speed. It sounded like someone jumped the canal. We grabbed our brewskis and rushed to the jetty. Never underestimate the speed of an alcoholic. What we saw was a sight to behold. A beat-up police carriage containing you, right there on the beach. You revved the engine and screamed at the top of your lungs. The time hath come. So, naturally, being the curious cat I am, I asked what time hath come, to which you replied, The time hath come for Tequila Sunset, the end of all things. Yeah, I'm just gonna, keep my mouth shut and listen. After which your reality contracted. You jammed the pedal, plowed right off the jetty and through the ice. We ran towards the ice whilst you crawled your way out, miraculously unhurt, covered in seaweed and shit, like some kind of sea monster. When we finally got there, you were sitting on the beach crying. You said your badge and uniform were in the car. It was too late to get in there, though. The carriage had sunk too deep. Recognizing a brother in need, we offered our condolences and invited you to party with us, which you naturally agreed to. We asked about the whole Tequila Sunset thing, and you told us it was your name now and insisted that we call you that from then on. Wait, so is Tequila Sunset an event or a name? No. I'm going to reassert my Raphaelness. That's actually not my name. I'm Raphael Ambrosius Cousteau. That's what you should call me. Nah, that name sucks. You're Tequila Sunset. Just embrace it, brother. Okay, how long did we party for? Oh, hours. It was an all-night drink-a-thon. Then, at some point, I think it was Sunday morning, you got belligerent and wanted to talk about Revacholian women. Oh, God. How they're beautiful and also whores and so on, how one of them fucked you real bad. After a short while, you crossed the event horizon, looked sullen, got up, and left without saying anything. Wow, that's quite a story. Yeah, I bet Tequila's a fucking legend around the precinct. You must be proud to work with him. If you only knew. Did I mention anything else? Oh, besides your gun and your badge. You said something about your hope or heart or something? To be honest, the details are a little hazy. In retrospect, I guess you lost your motor carriage, too. That's a big one. Sorry, what did I say about my gun? I can't ask him anymore about the gun. Because it's... So I had already lost my gun and badge. Or my gun at that point. But when he said I crawled out of the car and was complaining about my badge, I didn't say anything about my gun, so presumably my gun was lost before that. God, I hope I said something to him about it. Did I say anything about my colleagues? You told us they were a bunch of fucking losers whose main interest was cramping your style. It's more like you were cramping theirs. Thanks, sense of empathy. No specifics, though. It was more about you that night. You were the star of the show. Did I say anything about the case? Yeah, you said it was no biggie. You'd solve it in no time. He takes a strong quaff of his beer. And that you didn't need anyone to do it. You're doing it solo now. A lot of cops go solo and hermit once they reach that level of alcoholism. It's not meant as a joke. He's sorry for the hermit cop. Yeah, did you get a read maybe on, like, what kind of cop I was? Oh, you kept apologizing for being such a bad cop and for the damage you've inflicted on everyone around you. You also kept pausing to knock the heel of your hand against your temples, saying, "Stupid, stupid, stupid." Yeah, okay. It's weird. This is like, I get to check in with him about how my character has unfolded so far. Did I tell you anything specific about this person that fucked me? I'm a little leery of our past, but also very curious. You were pretty vague about it, but you kept saying you got fucked real hard, and that we've all been fucked too. No one's fucked me. I do the fucking around here. Abigail. His name is... They just call him Don't Call Abigail. That seemed pretty painful, to be honest with you. If I had to guess, I'd say you're still working through some shit. Yeah, I don't need to hear any more. I know what my politics are. I can read the thing on the screen here. Turns out, we must be careful what we pretend to be. Alright, I don't need to hear any more. He nods. It's a hard thing for a man to confront his past. That's why I avoid mine at all costs. You seem like you're characterized by your storytelling ability. Want to tell me another one sometime? Whoop-de-doo, so now I'm a fucking storyteller, he says, slapping his knee. Right, why not? Better than a beach bum. Yeah, do you want to tell me how you became Idiot Doom Spiral? It depends, really. Are you willing to help me out? The gleam in his eyes and the slouch in his posture is so incredibly familiar. You might get scammed here. Yeah, what do you need? Listen, my drama's high, I'm ready to get scammed. No, sorry, let me put that a different way. I am ready to avoid getting scammed. Booze, did you already forget our party? He taps his finger to his temple. The thing I relayed to you earlier? So, have you got anything for good old Idiot Doom Spiral? A bottle for a story. Seems fair to me. You know what? I've got some sweet Commodore Red. Or we could refuse to give him alcohol. Listen, he's going to get alcohol either way. This dude seems to know how to get drunk. I'm going to give him this, because I'm definitely not going to drink it. Oh, classy. He snatches the bottle and pushes the cork in through the bottleneck. Before he can start, one of the other bums interjects. Hey, Spiral Boy, you going to share that? Don't call Abigail. Shut up, guys. I'm telling a story here. He turns to you. Oh, something happened to you. Something happened to me, too. My actual name is George, but around here, you already know. I was once a reasonably high net worth individual, a founder/junior partner at a high-concept creative services agency. When my story begins, I had just landed a major contract with an insurance firm. Go on. I used the profits from my agency to finance what I called a cultural incubator. Abstract value generation, value per person, high-concept stuff. I don't know if he loves high-concept stuff, but he sure does love the phrase high-concept. I developed the paradigm, worked within the paradigm, but the burden of leadership weighed heavily on me, so I went jogging every so often to keep myself sane. Did the jogging help? It did. With my trusty Sansarique tracksuit, I felt like I could conquer the world. But now dreams are worn thin, much like my tracksuit, he says thoughtfully, brushing dust off his shit-stained pants. So what happened? Well, one day I left on my evening run. As you may know, it's impossible to clear your head when you're distracted by the sound of keys jangling in your pockets. He shakes the bottle and makes a ringing sound. His eyes are clouded, his dilated blood vessels encircling his irises like stinging brambles. His eyes are your eyes. So, I removed the keyring and put the keys for the front gate and the apartment into different pockets to stop the jangling, you see. At least, that was the plan. I was halfway done with my usual lap when it started to rain. The reality situation became very wet very quickly. How wet are we talking exactly? It's a weird question to ask. Wet, okay? It was raining really hard. There's a trace of derision in his voice. I made my way back home and discovered I didn't have the key to the front gate. I'd mixed it up with the key to the letterbox, which was useless. Naturally, the situation required me to climb over the gate, which I did, and there was no climbing down, because I slipped and landed on my ass. Yeah, I would have just landed on my feet, buddy. Nah, I'm gonna keep quiet, especially after his reaction to my last interruption. Reality was looking rather grim just then, me lying on my ass in a mud pit in the middle of a heavy shower. But when life knocked me down, I always got up. So I made my way across the yard. Standing in front of my apartment door, fumbling with my pockets, I realized that I'd also forgotten my apartment key. Okay, so what happened next? I rang my neighbor's buzzers. It was late, and most of them didn't answer. Those who did assumed I was trying to sell them something and hung up before I could even explain the situation. People are naturally wary of ad men, you see. One moment someone chats you up, 5 minutes later you've bought a box of edible lingerie and a strap-on. I don't begrudge them, especially since I was known to be one of the best. He pauses meaningfully. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. And just then I experienced a moment of clarity. I still had the key to my office. I could wait out the storm there. But when I reached my office, I remembered that I'd asked one of my producers to change the locks that day. And since I hired only the best, he'd already done it and I couldn't get in. Anyways, long story short, life spiraled out of control. I haven't gotten into my apartment for years, and my girlfriend left me because she didn't want to date a homeless man. The company, well, you see where I'm going with this. He pinches his thigh as if to check whether this reality is the reality. Look at how hard we succeeded on that. So, now you've heard my tragic tale. What do you think? Like nothing you've ever heard, huh? It is a little bit like nothing I've ever heard. It's also definitely not true, right? I literally cannot believe that. What should we say here? How much do I want this guy to like us at this point? I mean, we could still potentially get some useful information out of him. Wait, is that it? I feel like there are some steps missing. Tequila, I've thought about this series of events for a long time. If there was anything else to it, I would have thought of it by now. Why didn't you go to the authorities? Well, at one point they came to me, but I didn't have any ID on me, so they tossed me in jail for 2 days. Can't say it increased my faith in the RCM. No offense, gentlemen. He shakes his head. Boy. I kind of want a version of this that's just like, okay, and then we leave. Well, I mean, look on the bright side, you got one hell of a story. Yeah, maybe I've exaggerated certain parts over the years. But when you still tell a story too often, it begins to take on a life of its own. But what matters is that it's true to my subjective experience. Anyway, that was all the story one bottle gets you. He looks at it. Almost empty, this one. Truly, he has the soul of an artist. So, what do you guys do around here? We're saving the world. He looks at his comrades. Please don't call. Don't call, begs the man in the pipe. Okay, well, we're drinking. We're drinking alcohol. That's what we're doing. I tried to save the world once, a long time ago, with enterprise, creativity, and willpower, but that didn't work out. So now it's a pirate's life for me. Okay, well, you know what? I'll be seeing you. I don't have another bottle to trade, and also I have other things to do today, but that was weird. That was a weird experience. Okay. I've been assuming that the money shoes were making us get a small, a percentage more money every time we find money, but maybe the money shoes are responsible for the fact that we're finding money on the ground all the time? already looked at this, I thought. Oh no, I looked at the other one. Book, a primer for small kids. Hold on now. I'm assuming this is a primer for interacting with small kids, not a primer that is aimed at an audience of small kids. Nope, never mind. A textbook for the first grade in primary school. On the cover, a humanoid bear is pushing a wheelbarrow full of letters. He is not doing a good job. The letter S is dangerously dangling from the cart, while E fell off a long time ago. Children should pay more attention. Well, I mean, bears should pay more attention. Let's have a look at it. You hold in your hand the colorful primer. The title reads, A Primer for Small Kids. There's a bear involved. Why, this is exactly what I need. This book will show you the score, get you oriented with those basic concepts you appear to be hazy on. The anthropomorphic bear will give you the lowdown of your life. On what? Well, the alphabet. Okay, let's flip through the pages. Every page has one word designating one letter of the alphabet, with a faded illustration. Most of them are scientific and cultural principles. It goes as follows. Yeah, absolutely. Teach me the alphabet. A for azimuth, B is for Boreas, C is for cosine, D is for diamat, E is for ellipse, F is for phlogiston, G is for gamut. That is not how you spell phlogiston. H is for homeboy, I is for econ, J is for jura, K is for collapse, L is for laudanum, M is for myriad, N is for nadir, O is for oriole, P is for perihelion. Yeah, I'm getting excited. I'm like way into this book. Q is for quasar, R is for rhododendron, S is for sinus, T is for tricolor, I don't know what that is. U is for ultra, V is for vector, W is for warheit, which sure looks like a German word. X is for xylophone, Y is for that, and Z is for zenith. From azimuth to zenith, of course. That's it? Yeah, that's it. You know the alphabet now. In what is called the IL, the international language developed by scientists from Grad in the 20s. Sinus means sign, for example. Hey Kim, I know the alphabet now. Good. I also know the alphabet. Cool. Cool, we're going to be great partners. I wonder if that will ever come into play in any way. So, I guess we're looking down the coast for the cryptozoologist, right? Hold on, I am detecting something over here with my very fine perception. Looking back at you from the rust-colored water. You. Wait, take a longer look at yourself and how you're reflected in that slick chemical rainbow. What do you see? Metaphor. It's always metaphor. Some kind of metaphor for me? This is more important than you. That's the blood of industry you see before you. The runoff from Coal City, further down the coast. The engines of fortune once roared here. Great wealth poured into Revachol, the Delta, as did smoke, waste, sickness, life. Well, what happened? The engines stopped. The West Revacholian industrial base was dismantled after the war. Now, extinguished coke furnaces dot the landscape. A landscape despoiled by industry. West Revacholian industrial base, that's so me. It seems like there was a serious dereliction of duty in this cleanup. Perhaps you could dedicate your life to cleaning it up. Ah, but you're a cop. You must concern yourself with different messes. Even so, it's pretty to think. That was weird. My brain is weird. I really like this extremely internal style of game and mechanics here. It's so much more a story about our character than video game stories usually are. The rear tire of a motor carriage adorns these reeds. At least we know it's not mine. I didn't destroy my car that badly. The rear tires were definitely still on it. Oh hey, free stuff. I also have to say that I've been very pleased with Kim's characterization. In a game that is so much about the player character as this one is. Are these bottles not lootable? No, they are not. It would be really easy to have a lot of the other characters be very simple video gamey characterizations, but Kim has it feels like Kim is a dude with a real internal life and stuff. He might be one of my favorite characters in a video game this year. A kick drum pulse. The music is coming from somewhere on the ice. Yeah, that lady did say they were blasting it all the time. School of fish huddle around the fence post, then scatter into the dark. Full of holes. Could the posts hide treasure? We'll look inside in just a second here. And before you, a drawbridge. It can only be lowered from the other side. I wonder why that was a blue thought. Boy, we sure do have an awful lot of supplies now. Do all of the posts? Yes, in fact, all of the posts are lootable. People are hiding little things in them. Some of them are highlighted in yellow, which I'm assuming means that I can only get the loot out of them because of my extremely high perception. So, we have a free place to stay now, and we have a ton of money. We should definitely go back to the bookstore at some point. How do I get up there? Can I figure out a way to... Okay. You know, the key is to let Revachol manage it himself. Hold on. You feel the shadow of a very large building fall on you. Okay, yes, literally true. Dusty pews in the shadow. Many seem to be missing. An altar shrouded in dark. Or something like that. It's too dark to tell. So really, it's like darkness shrouded in dark. Sign reads, St. Brune 1147. Okay, well, do we want to go in? I kind of want to just look around outside a little bit more. I get sidetracked so easily, you know. I want to complete my circuit here, make sure we're not missing anything. In particular, I'm curious if we might find a cryptozoologist or two somewhere out here along the coast, if we just keep following it. Ooh, look at all that. I wonder if there's going to be any kind of trade-off for the fact that we're no longer staying at the Whirling. Right, like it's going to help us a lot to not have to pay all the time. These rusty gears used to turn the whole machine. It's going to help us a lot to not have to pay all the time, and I wonder if we're going to end up paying for it in a different way. The building before you housed the engine. Must have been a big one. What have we here? The chain trails off into the ocean, to who knows where. This barrel has been recently discarded. It still smells of fuel oil. Well, I guess we can go in here. I bet this is not going to be a big... Oh, interesting. An old door worn by elements guards the depot. The wind has blown a sand dune in front of it. The door hasn't been opened in a long while. You see a handle and a very, very difficult a very difficult check that cannot be tried twice. I wonder if we, break the handle off the door trying it. What is this thing, anyway? It's military. A service depot of some sort. It used to service what, though? The washerwoman mentioned a depot up the coast. The lieutenant looks the hunching concrete toad in front of him. She said it was for moving ammo and cargo across the bay. This might be it. Yeah, I think that's a pretty reasonable guess. We're going to want to come back here with... Geez, I don't even know what. I'm sure there's something that would make opening this door easy. I'm definitely not going to just botch that check, though. Mechanically speaking, it does strike me as a little bit of a shame. Just going to make sure we didn't miss anything over here. It strikes me as a little bit of a shame that there's no way for the game to just, not let me know that the check won't be repeatable. Because, to my eyes, it should seem like we could try it again, right? And it should only become obvious to me that that would not be the case after I attempt it once. But there's not really a good way for the game to communicate that to me without, breaking the trust that it has instilled. What have we here? It must have taken a lot of patience to do this. Stacking up all these rocks on top of this post. Painted with pastels. Someone is trying to bring cheer into the world. Well, that's just foolishness. Yellow moss on these stones. They're probably stolen from someone's garden. Trash from some unending party. And a pole screwed into the ice keeps the tent erect. At least until the ice gets soft. More tribalistic markings. This post is covered in little humanoids. And this is a drawbridge that I'm going to put down. A pane of eternite has been planted into the snow. 2 poles are holding it up. Barely holding it up. It could fall over any minute. A stronger gust of wind might be enough. Yeah, I'm just gonna push it. Pane falls into the icy snow with a soft thunk. I don't know that really accomplished a lot, because obviously we could just walk around. We should ask that girl on the ice what's going on here. He gestures toward the young woman next to the tent. Yeah, alright, that seems like a fine plan, Kim. A shaggy-looking girl in her late teens or early 20s kneels on the ice with an electronic contraption in her hand. Hearing you approach, she looks up.
Oh, hello there.
It's cold out here, but she's not wearing a hat. She must be freezing. Everyone knows drugs make you invulnerable to cold. You bet this one likes to party. Hey, I have some questions for you. Let's not open up with this.
I'm listening.
A cold wind blows in from the sea. She breathes on her fingers for warmth, looking up at you. What's your name? Great, she didn't pronounce it out loud. That's what I was really hoping for. I'm gonna guess Acel. Her hair is dyed blonde with dark roots showing. There's a coarseness to her features, some masculinity below that timidness. Alright, and your surname? Why? I'm from the police? It's for the paperwork? Oh wait, do I want to do that? Do I want to tell the partiers that I'm from the police? I mean, any one of them could recognize, right? Kim's got a coat on that has the police thing on it. I've got a coat on. It's fair enough to just say this. Okay, well, she hesitates. It's Burger. A very common name. Yes, I've heard that. What's that device you have there? This, she breathes on her freezing fingers. It's a portable recording device. It's for field recording. Low quality, but still. And the wires? Actually, just one wire. I picked on it till the braiding came loose. The wire leads to a contact microphone. What's a contact microphone? Well, a contact mic records sounds from inside things, like this ice. Nice! You can maybe bug someone with it. Wiretapping! I've never heard somebody delightfully exclaim wiretapping before. Actually, how does that thing work? The mic? I don't exactly know. Somehow it doesn't pick up vibrations from the air. The box said it only picks up structure-borne sound, if you like technobabble. And where did you get it? Same place I got the recorder from, the Elysium. What's the Elysium? Oh man, you haven't been to the Elysium? She forgets herself for a moment. It's the coolest place in this whole drug-addled shithole. It's a music club and a synthesizer workshop on Boogie Street in Jamrock. Musicians live there, like real musicians. I once saw Arno van Eyck. Thinking about it really cheers her up. It's a long way from here, though. Okay, that sounds interesting. Who is this Arno guy? Also, this is like an absurd response. Oh, yeah. She looks you over, assessing your age. Guess you wouldn't know Van Eyck. Or really be a Palaceum-going kind of person. Hey, I get down. I don't know what that means. I grind. I don't know what that means either. Nor do I, but I have concrete evidence that I rock, in the form of a wrecked tape player and a completely trashed hostel room. That's cool, she breathes on her fingers. Looks like she doesn't know what to say. Oh god, you're right, time has deserted me. She looks at you oddly. That sucks, man. She squints her eyes for a second, trying to remember something, then lets go of it. Was there something else about the contact mic, perhaps? Desperately trying to steer the conversation away from me. Yeah, alright. Actually, I had some non-mic questions for you. Okay. What are you doing out here in the cold? Recording, I guess. And what is it you're recording, exactly? I think I'm recording cracks in the ice, but there's no way to tell, not without headphones. I think I just recorded your footsteps, too. Not sure how that'll sound. She scratches her forehead. Well, what happened to your headphones? My boyfriend sold them. What for? Gee, I have a guess. I don't know, man. Things? Just stuff you need for life. A lie. They were probably pawned off for something suspicious. And what are these recordings for? The cracks, the footsteps? Well, the musicians in the Palaceum use them for making music. They loop the stuff, cutting the tapes together. They make music out of cracks in the ice and keys jangling. Crazy sounds like that. It's hard to explain. Okay, I'll just nod along. Anyway, I thought I'd like to make some too. It's supposed to be like a music place, anyway. She rubs her shoulders and looks around. I don't really know what I'm doing. They use synthesizers too. I don't have a synthesizer. She looks at the recording device, the thing she thought would fill her hours with joy and escape. It's turning out to be an empty fantasy. She feels childish, very useless all of a sudden. Take this, you're cold. The lieutenant begins to take off his jacket. Nah, man, fuck that, I'm cool. I'm sorry I said that. I'm sorry about the fuck. It's okay. The lieutenant backs up. He throws you a glance. So, you said it's supposed to be a music place? What is? That, she nods toward the church. The boys think it could be a place, like the Elysium or something. Stupid. It's really... She pauses. Well, it's not going to be a Elysium, that's for sure. Okay, the boys? Yeah, Andre and the guys. They're inside, in the tent. And why is that? So why are you freezing out here while the boys are inside? They got too much stuff crammed in there. No room. Stuff like what? Music stuff, mostly. Like this tape recorder, but bigger. And there's piles of it. Why not just leave some of it outside so you don't have to freeze? Well, that stuff is more expensive than I am. More expensive than any of us, really. Doesn't matter. I can take the cold. I think I want to loop back around and ask about the headphone thing. Alright, you mean like those headphones your boyfriend sold? Yep, she squints her eyes a little. They were pretty. I'm sorry we sold those. And then, yeah, why not just leave it outside? Okay, I have some other questions. Ooh, another empathy check. I'm so bad at passing empathy checks, even after we put so many points into empathy. It's just like, they're all really high. Tell me more about this music place you've been planning in the church. Well, it's supposed to become like a club for anodic dance music. Like that new style of synthesizer stuff they play at the Elysium. Except that, yeah, she looks at the old wooden church up on the poles. As a mean wind comes bellowing in, the 6-story structure lets out a doleful shriek. What is anodic dance music? Secret task complete, okay? You know, anodic, cathodic music that's made with electronic instruments. Oh, electronic instruments. Like what? Synthesizers and tape consoles, microcomputers too, anything that uses electricity but isn't guitars. Also found sounds. Stuff like that. So you want to turn the church into a club? I know. She nods toward the sloping mass of wood on the coast and shivers. It's not my idea. Andre and the boys found the place. It was supposed to be deserted, but now they can't even take it. I mean, hey, don't get me wrong, but you're cops, right? Well, I don't know where you got that idea. Yeah, why do you ask? Okay, well, she hesitates. Maybe you could talk to Andre and the guys? Because there are some strange things going on in that church. If you're police, you should look into it, right? Yeah, alright, I'll talk to them. They're inside that thing there, she points to the tent. Would be cool if you did. Was there something else? Maybe. Enough about the church anyway. I have another question. Actually, never mind. I do not have any further questions. Let's, I don't know, do I have any clothes that affect my empathy? I kind of want to try that check. Did we attempt the empathy check with Kuno again? Is that locked right now? It is. Okay. So I'm definitely thinking like maybe we're going for another point of empathy at some point in the future. So why don't we empathy up as best we can here? I don't know if we even have any clothes that improve empathy. I don't think we do. And then we're gonna roll this check and see if we can get lucky, and we'll come back and obviously try it again later if we don't. Logic, drama, yeah. Turns out no matter how you're dressed, your empathy works the same. I don't know if that's even really the way things work. Alright, let's just roll it. The tape recorder lies on the ice like a discarded toy. Pick it up. This is not that unlikely. Okay, the most likely thing happened. We did roll an 8. That was a good try, at least. Yeah, we were right on top of it, man. Alright. The device is cold to the touch. An angular Omicron logo adorns the yellow plastic cover. Underneath, you see a reel of tape rolling. You put the device back on the ice. Alright, that's it for now. And probably, that ought to be it for now, for us as well. we certainly saw a lot of weird new stuff today. We earned a lot of XP and read a lot of bubbles. Come back next time, tomorrow, to see us maybe do some actual police work. Obviously not on, like, the case, but all this other police work that's just sort of laying around unfinished. We'll work on some of that, and we'll see you then.